In terms of the iPhone sales, we really would love to see the ASP, and missing that number, not having that unit sale number, is a big question mark for investors. But seeing that the iPhone is declining and hoping that you're going to pick it up with services revenue while services is decelerating, that's still going to be a point of concern. There's a little bit of relief here in this numbers that, especially given what happened in the December quarter, that they hit the top of their guidance range. But this is a company whose revenue is still shrinking. They shrunk by about 5% compared to the prior year.
Walter, the revenue from services 11.5 from iPhones 31, so still a long way behind the iPhone revenue. But is this morphing into a services company, and what does that mean?
That's really the big picture question as Apple moves from being a product company to a services company, or at least shift some of its center of gravity. And that's important because Apple has always had a business model that very much protected consumer privacy, did not aggregate eyeballs to sell them to advertisers in that way. So we have to see when it moves more and more to a services business, whether it can do so with consumer revenue, which it's trying to do and I think would be great for the content producing industry, or whether it's going to have to focus more on advertising revenue and thus have to do things that sort of change a bit the model of Apple of always valuing privacy. I mean, I'm one of those people who doesn't like the fact that Google and Facebook are sucking up my data. But, the 120 kids I teach at Tulane, they don't want to pay for things, and they don't really care about privacy that much. So the question is whether Apple will move more to a model that doesn't guard our privacy quite as well as I hope it would, and move more to a model, I would hope it would move to a model of having consumer revenue for content.
Ed, you've been diving into the report. What else have you picked out?
Well, I mean, I think the services revenue, we're going to stick on that theme for a bit. I agree with Josh. It makes a great point about it slowing down a little bit. If it's FX headwinds, I think that's interesting. We need to get a better sense of what the actual subscriber numbers are for the owned and operated part of services. Apple News, Apple Music, the forthcoming Apple TV. We know Apple Music is in the 50 million range. Apple News, they signed up 200,000 subscribers in the first 48 hours. We know that much. I did some reporting on that a few weeks ago. But, this is a 1 month free trial thing, so that's also going to be a churn. It's going to be a churn element to that. But to Walter's point, if it's going to become more of a services business, privacy is going to be an issue. Subscription dollars is sort of the easy way into that because you're not aggregating as much data to sell to advertising. You're just taking credit card data, which you already have, and charging them month to month. You still need to fill it up with more content, whether it's news or TV or whatnot. But again, we still don't know exactly where these customers are, how they're churning out month to month. That's more of what we'd like to see going forward.
Want to get a shareholder reaction. Right. Ross Gerber, you own about 90,000 shares. What stands out to you, and would you pick up more Apple stock?
I'm so impressed the way Tim Cook manages to beat earnings 100% of the time by lowering his expectations to such a low level that he has to beat. And with numbers going down across the board from sales and this lack of transparency that everybody's complaining about, I don't like that. So as much as I am a shareholder of Apple, we are not adding to our position at Apple. The innovation curve is dead there. They haven't come up with anything. I mean, I was thinking, what was Tim Cook's greatest invention at his time at Apple? And I'm curious to what the panel says about this because I couldn't think of anything. But I love the business. I love Apple. Of all those
Shareholder
kids,
value.
Yeah, he's good.
My
He's a financial engineering guy for sure. But all those kids in Tulane are using iPhones, and I don't think that's going to change. And I don't think they should lighten up on privacy. I think privacy is the most important thing that Apple protects for its users. And so the question is, as they sell these services, are they going to be successful? And so far, they haven't proven that. And so I kind of think there needs to be a more services type of leader at Apple, somebody who has experience in content. Tim Cook picking TV shows is a bad thing, I think.